Welcome back, creators. Welcome back to our viewers and the subscribers of KendyK all day. This is another amazing episode of Coffee and Conversation. And we have someone that many already know in the YouTube streets. But if there is someone who is catching this stream for the first time, I want to present to you someone that is near and dear to my heart. I call him friend. And he comes to us from one of the greatest states in the union, and that's the great state of Hawaii. And friends, I want to introduce you to the source. And friends, he's a great human in this world. We'll be with the source for about the next 90 minutes. Thank you all for already being here, for chiming in for this wonderful episode of Coffee and Conversations featuring our good friend in the YouTube streets, the source. Welcome, Source.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you doing?
Wonderful.
Good. Awesome. Welcome in, everybody. Yeah, happy Saturday here from Maui, Hawaii.
And in the spirit of the source, he says, aloha. Tell those friends who may not be familiar with you or your channel and how you show up for other creators. Would you share a little bit about your channel, Source?
Sure. The Source, or at the Source 479. We are a connect and grow channel. The Source Network. We've got the Dream Life Collective membership. We are monetized. It's a community. It's a central hub for us all to come together regularly and connect and learn and grow and get motivated. We have a lot of fun. We sing, we dance, we play, we laugh, we cry tears of joy, we pray together, all the things. So it's, we do beach live streams from Maui here at the beach on Tuesdays and Fridays. We've done like up to 55 interviews of our awesome content creators in our community. KendyK All Day was definitely one of our awesome interviews. And we do a support Spinwheel as well every Sunday so that you could win your own day of celebration and support amongst our community and get support for your channel. There's just so many things, nature, animals, we love chickens, all the things. So thank you so much for having me, KendyK.
You are most welcome. Friends, today we're sitting down with Doron, the Source 479. He comes to us from Maui, Hawaii, a man who pours into others. He helps small creators grow, and he shows up with a spirit that's both peaceful and very powerful. Now, if you know the Source, you know that he brings the joy. But today we're also making space for something even deeper. So go ahead, grab your coffee, grab whatever you love to hydrate on, because this conversation, it's going to be one that really stays with you. So let's start here, Source. What do you want people to know about you beyond YouTube?
Beyond YouTube, a spiritual dude, I've had my own business before. I actually got a master's in business from Kent State University. Went on to launch my own transportation business and did that for 8 years. Ended up, my life ended up shifting in a big way. I met a shaman woman. I just committed to learning and growing with her for a while. And not much longer after that, I was actually hit by a car. Was in the hospital for 3 or 4 days and had 2 surgeries. My jaw was wired shut and my leg became metal rods. And other than that, like, it was just, to me, like, I was just like a rebirth, a death rebirth experience for me. I just felt like the angels just joined me. That's all I understood it as, is like, okay, there's a lot of support here, a lot of guidance. I'm a new person. From there, I let go of my business in Ohio, in Kent, Ohio there, and ended up traveling across the country to California and traveling up and down the coast and going to consciousness gatherings, festivals, doing medicine wheels with tribal leaders, all sorts of experiences, getting on the land, growing food, just all the things in our focus on how can we bring in a better world and be the example and connect with the others that are like-minded, that want to see that happen. And we all had our own projects. So that's what the source in the beginning was for me, is okay, this is your project. One project left to complete paradise on earth, unite humanity, and let's do this thing. Heaven on earth, paradise on earth, whatever you want to call it. It's for us to do here now in this life. So YouTube, something didn't work for me in a while back, but then this past 1.5 to 2 years, I've just locked in and something clicked, it hit different this time. And so I'm all in. Let's go.
Let's go. I already hear you're gearing up with all of that motivational spirit. So what made you source the source 479, by the way? If you're trying to connect, his connection link is pinned to the top of each of the streams. And y'all, I will tell you, the party is on the horizontal stream, and we're inviting you to connect using the horizontal stream. You can connect and share out your channel link all throughout this interview. But Source, what made you start helping small creators grow?
Helping small creators grow. That was just my inspiration, my motivation from the very beginning, from the get-go. I don't know, like I tried YouTube before and I didn't know that you needed to support content creators, and then they support you, and there's this whole system that I had no clue about. So this time around, I just got it. Like it just clicked. Like I started off with a 30-day video challenge. That was my first thing, was like, okay, let me learn how to do YouTube. I don't even know how to do this thing. So I started out just learning YouTube, and 30 days, every day posting something. And I found other 30-day video challengers that had done it previously. And then I found others that were just starting or just in a 30-day video challenge. I just networked like crazy with all of them. And then we had our core group. And then we supported each other each day. And I got the training wheels for what I do now on YouTube through just daily posting, learning from my own experience, learning from them, my fellow content creators. From there, when I graduated 30-day video challenge, there was there was nothing. I was like, okay, I'm out here, and there's nothing I have to do. There's anything I can do. I don't know what to do. And I just started going and watching other YouTubers that were making an impact. And that's where I found like Dodash, and, I found King Explicit, and started to like pick up what they were putting down. And then from there, got over to Nemo 504, Mr. Phenomenal, the Phenomenal family lot. That's what they are. Him and Boogie Town got married. They had a baby Genesis. So we're excited about that. Yeah, so I learned a lot from Nemo 504, how he was inspiring, how he taught us how to do YouTube, and support was coming through big. He would do these shout out to supporters videos regularly. I just learned so much from him, and I just started doing it myself, and everything I've done is from just my own journeying or learning from all of you in our communities, and then just applying myself with these new systems and blueprints, and seeing how I can support everybody, and with building systems and just rolling them out. So yeah.
But one thing that folks know you for is your Sunday Wheel of Support. Would you tell folks about that, and what was the impetus? What motivated you to make that a signature component of your Connect and Grow space and your channel?
Yeah, that came through pretty strong. The Sunday support Spinwheel gathering and celebration that we do every Sunday, that we've done for more than a year now, every Sunday. I don't know, it just came through. The wheel was something I'd always been interested in. The Spinwheel, I use thewheelofnames.com. There's a bunch of free ones out there. And just like, everyone should have their own day in which the whole community rallies around you and watches your content, queues up your playlist, shares you out on their post tab. if you like and then you comment on their content, you might be interested in subscribing if you're really interested in supporting that content creator for the long run. Yeah, it really took off day one. Everybody just converged at the Source channel at our live stream for the support Spinwheel gathering and celebration. And then I just shout everybody out. Like, that's a big thing at the Source. I shout everybody out. I just keep shouting everybody out the whole live stream. So people are in there chatting, and every time I see their name, I'm shouting them out. You're on the wheel. You're on the wheel. You're on the wheel. All right, welcome in, and get you on the wheel. Okay, let's spin. All right, here's our spin for Monday. Okay, who can we all support as a community on Monday? The winner is KendyK all day, KendyK all day, KendyK all day. Yes, indeed. Let's go, family. All right, Mondays, and then just keep going through each day of the week. And then afterwards, of course, we just do what we do at the Source. We party and we have a great time, and music and laughter and community and connection and all the things. So, and we learn. We've been learning too lately. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Source. So I hope you're getting a feel for the energy of the Source. Source, you are in Maui, Hawaii. Tell us what time it is there, and I'll tell you what time it is here.
It is 9:13 a.m. on Saturday.
So what we're seeing, y'all, is the Source in his morning vibe. It might be different for folks, but y'all realize the Source is just up. He's getting it going on a weekend about 9 o'clock in the morning. And for me, it's 3:13 Eastern Standard Time. But there he is, y'all. He is our guy. He is the Source. And Poetic Tears is one of those great other connect and grow spaces that I know is near and dear to your heart, as is to mine. And you've mentioned a couple of others. Share, if you would, because I know you would want to, would you share a couple of folks who, I know for one that it was Simply Debbie Sue's. She had a day this week in the Wheel of Support. Yeah. Whose day is it today in the Wheel of Support? Meaning you pulled their name, not you pulled their name, but their name was chosen by the wheel, the picker, to get that special support for the day in the YouTube streets.
Yes, indeed. Yep. All right, here it is. I'm pulling up on my post tab right now. Today is I Cherish Church Network Day, Bishop Share Day. Today, support our favorites, minister, reverend, preacher, I don't know what the right word is for it, who brings us the word of God and beautiful music. And a garden, a divine garden that she had. She literally, a lot of our favorite content creators are plants, medicinal plants in her garden. And then she's got this wall of a map of all of us, in every state where we're at. She's got all the states, I believe. I don't know if she's got all 50 or not, but darn close if she hasn't gotten it. She's newly monetized too. So congrats to Bishop Share, I Cherish Church Network. And it's her day. So support. Check her out. Queue up her content, playlist, share her out, all the things. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Source. See, he's always, it's his interview, and he is still trying to share as many channels as he can. And that's what you get from the Source. He's just an all-around good guy. And what I know for sure is he's not just talking the talk, he's living it. He is living it. What do most creators, in your opinion, what do you think most creators misunderstand about support and the idea of building community as a content creator?
Support. What do creators misunderstand about support and building community? I don't know. I don't know if they misunderstand it. But the thing is, a lot of what we're told to do on YouTube is to find a niche, and to stay in our lane. Maybe have up to 3 content pillars. So that the algorithm can find you and whatnot, and your content I agree. Yes, 100%. I do agree with that, and I'm doing something totally opposite. Maybe one day it'll actually fall into kind of what they look for, what the system looks for. But I've spent almost 2 years now just simply supporting my fellow content creators, um, holding space for community, bringing the vibe, having a lot of fun. If anything, that's what we've done the most is we've had a lot of fun. We get buck wild. We build memories. We make people feel good. You know what you're gonna get, but you have no idea what you're really gonna get when you show up at the source. It's just like it's a I don't know, I'm a clown. No, it's just crazy. It's just great. Some of the things that happen at the source is just wild. Sometimes I have to unlist my live streams, and then I have to like sit on that live stream for like a while. Like, do I put that back up? Like, what can I do to make that actually YouTube friendly so that, I don't get in trouble? Like, some of the things that happen are just so great, wild, and crazy. We moderate, we try to keep it all in line, but then every once in a while, someone just gets on, woo, just, oh my, whoa, wow, okay, yeah, what, oh my goodness. So yeah, so we have a lot of fun. We're like all about supporting. We're all about community. Like I have I have more goals though. So like yes, I'm monetized with this channel and it's good, but I'm paying for all these different. I'm supporting probably 50 or more I'm a member of like 50 or more content creators. I've got StreamYard. I'm paying the full version. My second year paying the full version. I've got Suno and I got Epidemic Sounds for music, and I'm just like, okay, for a while. This was part time for me. This was like, let me just build and grow. I'm going for millions of. I want to get to that point where we have millions of supporters. So I try to put nothing in the way of that. I didn't care about money or anything, but ever since Deb, my partner, passed March 24th, which today we're in like April 18th or something. So it's been about 3 weeks plus right now. It's different for me. Everything I've gone through, the grieving process, plus just I'm living the most expensive lifestyle where I can't continue to save money and, invest the way I want to. So I'm kind of like just staying steady, like financially. And so now I'm getting activated more and more to, okay, I've got to go to that next level, some of the things I've been thinking about and I've been paying attention to. So that's where I got to get really dialed in here and roll out. I got to step in to becoming a coach, and I got to build a vibrant community offering the whole blueprint that I've dropped in the past 2 years. I've got to like tighten everything up and get my coaching, my content in order of how I can help everyone to do this, to essentially build the vibrant community, get monetized, be the coach, be the influencer, be that supporter that can one-to-one help those that are ready to take it to that next level, to become an influencer in their life, build a vibrant community, get monetized, live your best life, live your dream life. What does that look like? Get really clear with what each person wants out of life, what their limitations are, their stagnation, maybe miserable, maybe bored, maybe there's all these different places where people can be right now, living limited. And our goal is to go through that. Like I always talk about the caterpillar to the butterfly. So a lot of us are having these spiritual experiences, whether it's a death in the family, whether it's a health emergency, whether it's a loss of a relationship or having to move, getting evicted, all the things. We are seeing all of this real time in the real world and amongst our fellow community members. And that's where, okay, those are the times when we go into that cocoon and we really do a lot of self work and we really get broken down into nothing, really, just in grieving and the trauma, and we have to at some point begin to pick up those pieces and begin to put together who the next version of ourselves will be. So who we were that's done. Now we get to come out of that cocoon as this new, beautiful, vibrant, colorful, light, butterfly that can just do anything, go anywhere, and live our best life, our dream life. So I'm in the background. I'm figuring out what I want to do with what I've done already for the past 2 years almost on YouTube, and then I got to figure out what it becomes going forward so that I can financially be the example of dream life, like fully, not just, oh, I live in Maui, Hawaii, and I work a job. No, like let's go there. Like, what is the dream? I've got to get so clear with my dream life and get that out there to all of you so you can hold me accountable. And then it goes both ways. Y'all get so clear with your dream life, what you're bringing to the table and how your channel's going to show up, what your products or your services are. Are you a coach? Are you an author? What are those things, so that we can all as a collective step into that dream life together and then support each other every step of the way. That's where we're headed. So, yeah.
And that's, my friends, that's exactly why I am a member of the Source 479. And you call your memberships the Dream Life Collective. And I hope that you all can feel that energy coming through. What I hear Source saying is, we've got to have a growth mindset wherever we are right now as YouTubers, wherever we are as humans. We want to constantly be working on self. We want to constantly be thinking about elevation, going to the next level in our faith walk, in our YouTube channel, if you're a content creator, and just making the world a better place. That's what you get from the Source. That's why I hit subscribe, and that's why I also became a founding member of the Source Network. So I strongly encourage you all, if the Source has done work to support you and your channel, if you've ever been featured in his weekly Wheel of Support, if you've ever graced his stage, and friends, I would probably still be working on monetization had it not been for Source. Source, y'all, he made me KendyKallday all day. And friends, that was probably last June or July. And friends, I did 3 live streams that day because it was KendyKallday all day, courtesy of the Source. And y'all, the 3rd live stream of the day took me straight on into the next day, meaning Source was up with me till about 1 o'clock in the morning. That is the generosity. That is the sheer human kindness of who this person who comes to us by the channel name, the Source 479. Y'all, he is who he is. And y'all, the longer you rock with him, you know, it's not just for clicks and views. It is just who he is. And the goodness and the joy just oozes out of him. And the chat is blowing up. And thank you all who are bouncing over from the vertical stream, because we want you to be able to connect and grow in this space as well. Source, let's take a look at your channel so folks can see what they're going to get when they pop over to the Source 479. And I have put that label on there so everybody will know it. The Source 479, his space, particularly his live streams, are a safe zone for you to connect and grow your channel. You're going to get a lot of care and support. You're going to get a lot of kindness from the Source and from viewers who rock with the Source. Everybody's going to help you. Everyone's going to show you the ropes and get you familiar with everything over there with the Source. The Source is probably one of the kings of live streams from the small and new YouTubers. And because YouTube considers anybody with 500,000 subscribers or less a small channel, and nothing wrong with that, because that makes you eligible for the hype program. I want folks to see Source. Tell us some of the content that you've produced lately, and we're going to keep this party train moving.
All right. Let's see. So my most recent video is so here in Maui, we've got such beautiful spots. And just a few weeks ago, I actually went to a spot that I had driven past for 8 years and never went and saw. So basically, I pulled off to the side of the road. It's in Maui, on the north shore of Maui, just to the east of what they call the Ho'okipa Lookout. I've been to the Ho'okipa Lookout and the beach down below. It's very popular. But then just to the east, down the road a little bit there is a spot where I see people pull off on the side of the road and park. And then I didn't ever see how do you get there? How do you get out to the shoreline, the coastline? How do you what I don't understand. They're all breaking the law. They're breaking the law. Like it looks like to me they're not supposed to be out there on that land, like and after 8 years of driving past, I've been getting this new guidance. It's about I've got to do Maui adventures. I've got to share my Maui adventures. I got to really step out of my comfort zone and do new things and share that with all of you. And I would like to begin to create evergreen content that will live and exist on forever for the life of the internet and YouTube and get you paid every day while you sleep. And I don't have any of that yet. So that's what I'm focused on right now. Yeah. I want some of that pound cake. Let's go. Give me some of that pound cake. That's shout out to KendyK and her pound cake, y'all. Okay. So yeah, I got to that spot on the shoreline and I've been putting out content called The Most Beautiful Coastline on Earth. I've been putting out a couple videos and shorts of that. And I did a 2-hour. I also want to capitalize on like people do these like sleep, like these meditation and sleep live streams. I put together a 2-hour loop of the coastline there, that beautiful spot with the waves lapping in, so that you can fall asleep to it, you can meditate to it, you can relax to it. So that's my most recent video. I also put out a short recently of I've been attending a local church here in Maui for since Easter and making a lot of great connections and really vibing over there. And they've invited me to a Bible study group, and I'm learning the Bible a little bit. So I put together another trend because the trends, these ocean waves and these 2-hour or whatnot, these sleep live streams are big, but also I've been watching a lot in the evenings. I've been watching these like Jesus, Bible and Psalms, music, videos. Maybe it's jazz, maybe it's blues, maybe it's rock, like whatever. They have a theme, a type of music, and then they use the Bible verse, the Psalm. So I'm starting that with Suno right now. I just did my first one, which is Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, there was heaven and the earth, this is what I talk about. I don't talk about the beginning though. I don't talk about let there be life in my reality because we're in 2026, y'all. I talk about let there be love, and I talk about we are risen in consciousness. We are risen in spirit. We are risen in vibration. We are risen. God, earth, spirits, Mother Earth, everything wants us to elevate ourselves into a place where we can live by the teachings and the examples that have been set in place by those like Yeshua, Jesus, the Christ. So that's why for me, I'm so excited about like going to the church and learning. I don't know if I didn't grow up Christian. I grew up Jewish. You're Jewish. You're Jewish. You're Jewish. So I wasn't going anywhere near any of this until Easter. And now I'm going more all in each day. I'm like, it's still like it's a tricky process for me. I'm still like, what am I doing? Am I really? Is this really? It's so new and it's yeah. So yeah, where I was going with that is content on my channel. Recently, the beach live streams, Tuesdays and Fridays. I've got those on the live tab. Support Spinwheel on Sunday. That's on there. You've got the Genesis 1:1 in the beginning, Afro soul music version of Genesis in the beginning. There was heaven and earth. Let there be light. Like I had to get up. I put that short up, and then they say don't put up another piece of content for a while. I had to like within an hour of putting a short up. I was like, I'm going live. I'm doing a dance, live stream at like 10 p.m. at night. I'm in the kitchen here dancing for 20 minutes straight to let there be light. That's what you get. That's what you get. So I've got like nature. I've got like the pig at our old property, Harley, which is behind me in that painting right there. We've got live streams where Nemo and myself are singing, and we bring up everybody up on the panel, and we're all singing, and we're dancing, and we're jamming, we're laughing, and we're just acting a fool, and and then of course all the shout out to new connections videos that I put up on the regular as I meet like 10, 20, 30 new connections as they support me. I go ahead and lock in with them, and then I go ahead and put them on a shout out video, and then I tag everybody. So I probably got to put up one that has like 50 on it by now because I'm so behind. I'm so behind on a lot of systems. That's the way. That's the way of the successful YouTuber in the beginning, at least, is you get behind on all the systems. But so yeah, there's just everything. I don't know. It's hard to. I'm not looking at my channel, so what types of content I got on there. I teach a little bit of what I learn of YouTube and of life, and then yeah, nature, animals, supporting, and of course all the interviews for the past year, 50 plus of our amazing content creators, all being featured. So that's all there too. So I don't know.
I think we all would agree with Sandra James living it. You got to love this wonderful guy, y'all. It's the Source 479. He helps small creators grow even in the midst of his own personal loss. So we're going to kind of transition there, and we're going to talk about a little bit about the loss that you've suffered with the producer, our producer, Deb Riel. Can you share with us a little bit about your partner in life and losing our Deb Riel?
Yes. Um, okay. So it's always nice to share our story a little bit. So Deb Riel in Ojai, California. Like I said, I was traveling up and down the West Coast, and I dropped into a small town there called Ojai, which is like a healing vortex of a town, a bunch of consciousness, like real conscious people living in a small town village. And you know, I hadn't had the opportunity to just live a simple life yet in my, you know, after college existence. So you know, I ended up staying at an older woman's place there and helping her with all of her needs and such, and just learning a lot, like helping her with cooking and helping her get around, and she had her wheelchair, and I would drive her places, and I feed and walk her dog and care for her cat, and just help her with everything you can think of as an older woman. So I was living in that, and I was also working to change the world through the internet and everything, and I was on Facebook, and I gathered about 10,000 Facebook groups of consciousness and spirituality and how to change the world and esoteric religious texts and Jesus and the various prophets and their, you know, blah 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 blah, UFOs, everything that fell into that, how to raise your vibration, how to change the world, law of attraction, all that, the secret, you know, all that was in there, meditation, everything. And I was just focused on bringing a better world. I was networking people all around the world through Zoom calls, and we would broadcast to Facebook and multiple platforms with our broadcasts. I had just landed in Ojai, California. There was we met my group. We met a event producer. We met an event producer who had a down payment down on a festival that he was wanting to do called the One Love Experience. My crew and him, we ended up producing this One Love Experience Festival in Ojai, California. And I was just going around to the bars and to the music scene every night to get away from you know, having to do everything all the time for another person, of course. And then I was going out just to have a beer, a local, you know, microbrew, and then network and find musicians and network and tell them about the festival. It's coming up, the festival, One Love Experience, everybody. And of course, and then I ended up meeting Deb at one of these bar spots with live music, and we're both sitting at our tables. I'm sitting at a big circle table over here. She's sitting at a big circle table over here. And we end up just turning to each other and looking at each other. And then in our heads, this was confirmed later on, like I hear in my head, she's just like me. And then she hears in her head, he's just like me. Because she told me about that. And then, of course, remember, yeah, I actually have already heard that because that happened to me too. I heard the same message. So something caused us. She was actually at the bar because she got a psychic message. She got a whole message that was saying that her soulmate was showing up, and that there was various little tips to that. And she was showing up, and just each guy that would, approach her she was like, okay, maybe it's him. Okay, maybe it's him. Okay. So she was in this whole experience of dating and talking to these guys. And I'm just there like live music, cool, have a beer. I'm like, great. And like, oh, I'm gonna just walk up and approach this woman. And I approach her and I just go right into my whole spiel. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? I'm just like, oh, nice to meet you. Oh, hey, we're married. I just jump right into it. Like, I basically hear that she's a conscious being. She's done her spiritual work. Like, and I realize, okay, she's like my shaman, but then she's younger. And it's almost like the work that my shaman and I did together translated to this manifestation of a woman that's younger, that has already done the work. And then now I get to have a new spiritual partner. This is great. Okay, so I knew right away, and I just went right into it. I'm just like, hey, we're married. And she's like, no, we can't be. I have commitment issues. And I say, and so do I. It's perfect. She's like, no. And like, so we were pinky ring married day one. And then we had a table band where we're jamming away and we're going up on stage and doing music with the band. And I'm dancing around the whole bar, running in and out of the door and doing my thing and just acting a fool. And so that was the very beginning, and that led to just like every couple nights we were out to music, enjoying ourselves, and it could turn to her driving me there, and then and then at some point she just was done with the whole bar scene, and she was at a homebody because that's who she really is a homebody. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you? Let's go. What's going on? And she's like, well, I'm at home. So that led me to be like, all right, well, can I come over? Just like, so then we ended up watching movies, eating our candy, our chips, having our ice cream, doing a little puff puff, whatever, the thing, doing the thing, having good nights, watching so many awesome movies, and we just built a bond and a relationship over all those shared experiences. And I even got her up hiking up the mountain. She wasn't supposed to, before she met me, she wasn't supposed to even leave the bed. She had to keep her legs elevated. She was already she was on disability, retirement, Medicare, Medicaid, all the services, HUD housing. So she had Section 8. So she was set up for that simple existence. And I show up and I bring all this wild and crazy life stuff. Oh yeah, festivals, and let's go to the drum. I'm doing a drum circle in the park, and we're all bringing our instruments, and come on down and let's dance, sing, dance, and play. We're creating our own currency for the community, and da 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 da. All right, let's go up the mountain and hike. And she joined me for all these adventures. She's like, I'm not supposed to do more than one thing a day, and I gotta go back home and rest. And those things were from the beginning. She was already in that medical state. And also, I was way too much. So that translated to basically, I'll try to speed up the journey a little bit here, but we hung out for a while in Ojai. I ended up traveling and going on different adventures, but then I came back down to her multiple times. And she was my home and my heart and my safe place, my place that I could come home and be supported, because I was just traveling. I was traveling. I didn't have a home. I didn't have any of that. I just basically had less than $1,000 probably, and no spot to land. And I was just on that faith. So when I would hit these rock bottoms out on my adventures, I basically would get that message, go back to Deb, go back to Deb, go back to Deb. So there's multiple times. And then I would go back to her, and then someone would show up at the coffee shop and would say, hey, you want to come move over to my spot in Ventura? I need help with my projects. I need help with someone to watch my daughter. I'm launching this grow, I'm going to launch this huge grow opportunity. I'm like, well, I don't know about this grow thing, but and I don't know about watching a daughter. Like, but I can help you with your projects. And yeah, give me a home. I'll help you. I'll be your partner. I moved over to help this brother out in Ventura for a while. So that gave me a home for a while. So these are the types of adventures. And I helped him grow the plants, and just wild, the journeying. But then like that didn't last too long. And something about my energy, I just, so people can't really spend too much time with me. It creates these experiences, and then so it's just something, it just breaks off usually. When I speak the way I speak, and I share the love I share, and then there's my part of it too. Like there's just a breaking off process. We got to separate, go our separate ways. And um, yeah, so there was a point where I was staying with Deb, and fires came down the ridges into Ojai, California, and I helped Deb escape her home first, and we went to her where she would do house sitting and care for the dogs. One of her good friends. We went to their house thinking we'd be safe from the fires, but then the next morning the fires came up the ridge and were about to engulf that house. And so I got Deb and the woman, her friend, and we got into the woman's BMW, and she was all piddling around the woman, like, I don't know what's going on, and trauma. And well, I'm just like, all right, Deb in the car, friend in the car, I'm driving, let's get out of here. Like, drive them out. There's one road out of town between the fire on both sides of the road, and we zoomed out of town. And started going up the coast. And we ended up going up the coast and spending a week in a hotel. And that was like, Deb called that our honeymoon, because we were in the hotel. It was so nice. And we had a little cat, snuck the cat in there, and we went out to a nice movie, Wonder. Everything was wonderful. That was coming through. The message was coming through. Wonder, 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 wonderful. All of life's blessings flow to me with ease, grace, and glory. Everything's working out wonderfully. That was Deb's affirmation, because she needed that affirmation at that time. And we had a great time, but then we couldn't stay in the hotel forever. So we ended up going back down to Ojai, and it was just too smoky and unlivable for us still at that point in Ojai. So we ended up creating a tour. Deb and I created a tour, and we went up the West Coast doing this tour to raise awareness for the victims of the fires. And we created pamphlets and materials. We passed them out, and we went and we stayed at different spots along the whole way up the coast. And it didn't last too long though, because Deb it wasn't her thing. She wasn't as comfortable as she needed to be, and a little scared of the whole process. So we ended up turning back and going back down to Ojai. And there was a point there where I had to decide, where am I going to be next? And something in my journey told me Hawaii, and I ended up flying over to Hawaii and setting up at a work trade, doing on the land, working on the land. For 6 months here in Maui at Mystic Gardens community. And then from there, I got a car handed down to me. I had to start making payments on, of course, a BMW from one of my fellow change makers. And then a job showed up. One of my other fellow change workers brought me into a certain job opportunity where I work now in local produce. I got an Uber opportunity from one of my other fellow change makers, set me up with an Uber opportunity. So now I'm driving Acura and BMW, fancy high-end luxury SUVs on Maui, and also packing and delivering local produce. And I got this BMW of my own. And I just got my first home in Maui at a discounted rate, and it was in a beautiful, lush spot. And I was paying lower rent because I had just stepped into a CBD opportunity, and that was part of the deal, is I worked the CBD opportunity. So I'm doing all these things, and then that led to, I got a better home in Maui, in a gated community in Sprecklesville, one of the nicest neighborhoods, 2 acres with a pig. And what happened though is, the reason why I moved out of that old place is one of my friends, somebody I made a really good relationship with, an African-American gentleman, probably in his 70s, 60s, 70s. I had helped move him into where I was living in Haiku there on the land. And he was living in a shipping container. And and what ended up happening is I was handing my car over to him. He was making payments on my BMW, taking it over, and he had a job. But then all of a sudden, he lost the job. He got hit in the BMW. Somebody crashed into the back of him. All this happened, and then he couldn't anymore pay rent in that spot. So him and the landlord got into a lot of arguments. And what ended up happening is he left the world. This brother, Julian, left the world, and in a certain way, and it wasn't clear how it happened, whether he did it to himself or whether the landlord had done some foul play or anything. So I didn't feel safe. I got the heck out of there and I moved into my new spot in Spreckelsville. And just like that, I slept in the van for one night and then I got moved into the new spot. And I was scared. I was hiding in my place with my windows, my curtains closed, and in the nights. And I just wasn't sure if anyone would follow me there and would take me out next because I knew too much. I was in that place, and Deb knew that, so she flew over within a month. She flew over, she moved in, and we began to set up our home there in Maui, just like that. And within a month of that, the owner of the land in Spreckelsville saw that we brought a lot of value and made us property managers pretty quickly after she moved over. And we ended up running this place with like 10 tenants, 9 units, 10 tenants. And it was too much. And it was way too much for her. And she expressed it, but then to me, it was a perfect home. I like extra responsibility when it's something I feel alignment with. But she was already getting worn down by it. And she had medical for her whole life. Since she was in her 20s, she was in the hospital. They had to break her chest open, and they take out her thyroids and everything or whatever, and they put her on all these medicines. And she was living her whole life on these medicines and having to always worry about having a chair that wouldn't break on her where she'd fall and break her spine or something, and always having to keep her legs elevated and live simple. And she was on all these social services that she had to live a certain way. She had anonymity. She couldn't earn any money. She had food stamps and all these services in place where she had to fit in those boxes. So it limited her. But we eventually found this new home here in Maui, and this 2-bedroom. Our dream was a 2-bedroom, so I could have my YouTube studio. I'm in my YouTube studio here, and then the bedroom on the other side, and the kitchen and the dining in the middle. Just perfect location, perfect everything for her, perfect for me, perfect. And she was only able to enjoy it for about 2 days. About 2 days. She was only able to enjoy this place. She made sure to get the internet set up. She knew how important this was. She made sure to get everything set up here so that I would be taken care of before she went into the hospital. And got her to the ER, and they had said that she had fluid in her heart and lungs, and her heart was operating at only 20%. And then 3 weeks in the hospital there, and then for a couple days she was in rehab, but she wanted to come home and it didn't work out, the rehab. So she went back into the ER, and she was having trouble breathing and fluid back up in her, all the way down her chest. And so they would support her with the IVs and everything. And but back in the hospital after those 3 weeks, within a couple days, they put her into intensive care. And within a day or so of that, I went to visit her, and they had everything, all the cords plugged into her, and she tried to explain to me what dialysis was, and then she said she couldn't explain it. She just told them to explain it to me, and then basically that a dialysis is for someone that's immunocompromised or older, or that her heart was in such a bad shape they couldn't do any surgery on her. They couldn't do stents for her. They couldn't do anything. And they couldn't figure out really what was going on with her either. So they tried dialysis, and it just flows all of her fluids out of her system and back into their system. And they said it's probably the odds aren't good. And so that's where the next morning, I got the calls and messages to come now from Deb and from the doctor. And that morning is when I went in, and within an hour, just, it just wasn't. Her vitals were just dropping fast, and she wasn't able to communicate, talk very well. She can get that "I love you" out, she can get that last "I love you" out. And so I just let her know that she did it. She was perfect, completed her mission. And she can go, and because she didn't want to be resuscitated or anything. And so the doctors are standing there like asking, and I'm like, "Deb, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" And do you want to be just more comfortable? Like, you know what that means, right? Be more comfortable. And basically she was just like, yeah, just be more comfortable. And so, and just watching her go and just peacefully to sleep. And then I sat there for a couple more hours, holding her hand for 3 hours, for the whole process all the way through. And then, of course, the chaplain would come in and did a whole ceremony blessing her, and with the tea leaves and the holy waters, and blessing her heart and her throat and the God above, and her hands and body, everything. So we shared that experience. And then, yeah, from there, it's just right into grieving and making sure the family and the friends, everybody's notified. And then, of course, all of you, our YouTube community and family, just we all grieve together, definitely for that week, and it continues. And we know Deb's with us, and so yeah. So long story short, that's how we met, how we got to know each other, my journeying, and and then our process here. And she passed, and she's elevated, and we continue the mission in her honor.
Thank you so much, Source, for sharing. And so many are dropping butterflies in the chat.
Oh,
and I agree with you. Deb is right here with us. And behind the scenes, Deb and Source and we were coordinating a time for Deb and for the Source to come for coffee and conversations. And so the circle of life is complete. Certainly, you loved Deb with your whole heart. And because you loved Deb, we loved Deb, our producer. And my heart goes out to you, Source, and thank you for sharing your best part, Deb Riel, with us. And we know that you loved her, but certainly God loved her best, and he brought her on home. And I know that because I am a believer, and God loved her best. And we know that to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. And so y'all continue to shower Source with your love and your care, and keep him in your prayers, because we know that the earthly body gets tired, but we know that once you make that heavenly transition, there is no more pain. And every time we see butterflies, we will be thinking of our dear, dear, dear Deb. And Source, you asked for some pound cake, and here it is. This episode of the Coffee and Conversation, featuring the man who helps small creators to grow, even in the midst of his own loss. The Source 479. This episode of Coffee and Conversations is brought to you by Pound Cake Experts, featuring 50 flavors of gourmet pound cake. Visit Pound Cake Experts on all social medias. Visit poundcakeexperts.com, and they do ship all over the contiguous United States. And you know what? I am going to check with Pound Cake Experts, let her know the situation, and see if we can't get you some pound cake.
Oh my goodness
from
gracious.
poundcakeexperts.com. We want to thank model Lori Ann for her generosity today and sharing
Yeah.
love in this space. Thank you, model Lori Ann, for your sincere kindness. And y'all, we're getting ready. We're going to move into a rapid fire round, if you will, Source. This is kind of a lighter side, and I hope that helps you because we like to see the joy that you bring. So let's start out first. What this is called Coffee and Conversations because KendyK is a coffee lover, and I am having some of my Keurig warm hug. It is a special coffee collective brew with notes of caramel, brown sugar, and y'all, just sweet goodness. It's called Warm Hug from the Keurig Coffee Collective. And yes, KendyK drinks her coffee with a straw. What are you hydrating on, Source?
I've been going through a box of it's a honey chamomile tea. Honey chamomile tea. I put up a short on my shorts of this product. You can buy it and get commissions. All right. So honey chamomile tea. I put a couple of coconut drops in there. I put coconut drops in everything. That was Deb's thing. She always had coconut drops and stevia drops always for every drink to be able to sweeten everything up. And so yeah, that's what I'm enjoying today. Now, the message today from Yogi is we can always start again.
Amen. And you know, I love me some Yogi tea as well. That's a Pacific Northwest brand. And you know that I live in the Pacific Northwest in the great state of Washington. And I've also lived in Oregon. So when you were talking about those wildfires, I know what it means to have a go bag in your car or right near the door when it is fire season. And y'all, that's in late spring and all of the summer months. Fire is devastating wherever it happens, especially wildfires and the California wildfires, really all the Pacific Northwest, all the whole coast, the Pacific coast is known for the wildfires and their devastation. So thank you for doing those moments with you. Let's go with these rapid fire questions. So rapid, tell us exactly what's on your mind. We're going to start with some pound cake trivia since you like sweets and in honor of our very own Deb Riel, who also loved the sweets. So here we go. Chocolate or lemon?
For what? For cake or
for cake? What?
For cake? Oh, chocolate.
Okay. And glaze is the white stuff on a pound cake. So glaze or no glaze?
Glaze.
Corner piece or a middle piece?
A middle piece.
Okay. If you were a pound cake flavor, what flavor would you be right now?
How about creme brulee?
Ooh. Well, can I give you my flavor I would give you?
Yeah.
I'd give you a sexy strawberry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just cutting up with the Source because that's what we do. Y'all, here we go. We have a few more. Let me find them because I made them earlier. Let me find them. If you have any questions for the Source, y'all drop me your favorite flavor of pound cake in the chat. Let's do that for a moment while I find the rest of my great questions for the Source.
Just do them on the spot.
He connects and grows channels. Go ahead, Source. I'm sorry.
Oh, just I do rapid fire too. I do these questions too. Favorite movie, favorite TV show, favorite food, favorite drink, favorite, I don't know, anything.
Okay. So what movie have you watched lately?
I haven't watched, honestly. I've been on rapid fire. Can't talk story. I haven't watched any movies lately. Shutting down all my extracurriculars.
Okay. What is your favorite day of the week?
But I'll say Shawshank Redemption has been a favorite movie of mine. Favorite day of the week. I'll go with Saturday.
Why?
Sunday too. But just to be able to just kick back and have a nice relaxing day. I don't have to go to work at all. You can go to the King's Cathedral Church here in town, praise music, do a live stream, hang out with all of our awesome community, make my own meal. You relax the whole day, go do something different, special out in the community, whatever. It's the weekend. It's a freaking weekend. Okay.
Yes. Folks are chiming in with their favorite pound cake flavors. Down home Misty Style
Oh,
says that 5 flavor pound cake. So it has like vanilla, it has some rum flavoring in it, it has almond flavor in it, lemon flavor. That's a really good pound cake as well. Folks are loving the Shawshank Redemption. I love it too.
the Green Mile.
The Green Mile as well. And Amanda says that I just had some coffee with almond cherry macarons. Whoa, creamer. That was a creamer. That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
Oh
Model
yeah,
Lorianne says, oh yeah, I got to get my coffee out the freezer to make iced coffee. So Model
yeah.
Lorianne is an iced coffee girl. So here is a little
You
known
like some
tip from
coffee?
KendyK. Just my own preferences. I like hot tea and hot coffee, and I will give all of the iced coffee to Model Lorianne. What about you, Source? Do you drink coffee ever, or are you more of a
Um,
tea guy?
I do both. I do both. I just got gifted a whole case of coffee, canned coffee, nitro coffee, here in Maui, a Maui product, at one of my delivery spots. So I've been drinking those coffee drinks, and those are cold. But I do. I always like hot coffee. I put the cream and the sugar. You know, that's my thing, and I like iced coffee too, no doubt.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Y'all, if you have any questions for the Source, go ahead and begin to drop those now. I'm going to take a few minutes and let Source kind of refresh himself. It's a lot being on the camera for this long of a time. And so, Source, feel free to hydrate yourself while I pay a few bills. Y'all, if you would like an extended interview for Coffee and Conversations, it's my interview segment on KendyK all day. Go ahead and point your camera towards this QR code and go ahead and give me a little information about yourself. You don't have to be a YouTuber. If you're doing positive things in the world, I want other folks to know about it. So you can join me. We are now booking through the end of May. So join us for Coffee and Conversations. Leave me your details and I will connect with you in the next 48 hours. So fill out the whole form, including giving me a way to contact with you back. I'm going to ask for your email and if you care to share your phone number as well. And you can be you can be featured in Coffee and Conversations for a 60-minute or 90-minute interview on this channel. Friends, we want to remind you that I also invite creators to help other creators. It's known as the Connect and Grow community in these YouTube streets. And friends, join us on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and on Sundays for Shop Talk. Shop Talk is where creators help other creators, and I teach folks how to succeed. I was able to fully monetize my channel in just 6 months using my iPhone 15 Pro Max. I'm talking with friends. I had in April of 2025, I had about 200 subscribers, and I was able to fully monetize my channel in just 6 months using my iPhone 15 Pro Max. Fully monetized in just 6 months. And it's good. It's due in part to making good connections with great folks who spread nothing but joy and kindness and goodness in these YouTube streets. And friends, that's what I do for Shop Talk with 3 live streamed episodes of Shop Talk each week. Every episode of Shop Talk is live Q&A for the YouTube content creator. Thank you all for being here. And y'all, we are talking with the Source 479. He too helps small creators to connect and to grow their channels, even in the midst of his loss. And thank you all for being here. Thank you all for sticking and staying here. Y'all, if you have any questions for the Source, now's the time to drop them and I will pop them up on the screen and we'll ask the Source more about himself so that you can learn who this great person who embodies the Source 479. Inquiring minds want to know, and I tried it once earlier at the top of the stream, and it didn't sound right to my ear, so I didn't say it again. Share with us, the Source 479, how do we say your first name?
Oh, well, see, growing up, I wanted to kind of fit in, so I always said Doron. I always just called myself Doron since I was a little kid. But like I would go to Hebrew schools and I would go to temple, So then, my actual name and how you actually say it is Doron, Doron, with the rolled R, Doron. So that's gift of God. Gift of God. It's a Hebrew name, and also in Greek, also it means gift as well. And But I like the whole door in part, because I could say I am the door in to your heart. It connects to me. The door in, as I embody the gift of God, like, meaning there's a lot of meanings for gift of God. Like, as I'm reading the Bible and going to the church, I'm actually hearing it often. Gift of God, gift of God. I'm hearing different. The gift of God is wisdom. The gift of God is, there's so many different. I'm learning about the Holy Ghost. I'm learning about the Christ. I'm learning about God. I'm learning about there's the different personalities, and then they of course come all together. And so for me, gift of God is my presence, is being who I am, and showing up impeccably and authentic. And the gift that I don't truly know and understand is beyond my comprehension, is what my presence or my energy or what my voice is doing, or what spirit is doing beyond my understanding. That I don't know truly. That's not for me to know. But yeah, the gift of God is just something I believe we all are. We all have the potential to be, sons and daughters of God, and have the gifts of God, and that we all should step into ourselves fully and live our life authentically, and bring our passion and our purpose out to the world, to bring and create change, so that we may all live in the full manifestation of the heaven on earth, the paradise on earth, where all our dreams come true, and we could live our best life, our dream life. There's no one better, no one else I would want to experience this with than this amazing, wonderful, awesome, fantastic family that we all are, this soul family that we all are coming together, and in this YouTube space and beyond. So
Okay, and I am popping over to shout out and make sure that we are connected with that vertical stream. If you are using your mobile device and you've connected through the vertical stream, then I invite you to join us on the horizontal stream. That's where the party is for the moment, and you can connect and share out your own channel link if you are a YouTuber. But we're saying hello to Tiff's Take, who is with us. And so it kind of does bring the channels together for me, but there's a delay. And so I thank everyone for being here, especially to our friends on that vertical stream. And we have a poll question going out. What brings you on the vertical stream? What brings you to this conversation today? Creator growth. 38% of us said on the vertical stream said that they're here for the creator growth. And then 62%, I'll say that again, 62% of those on the vertical stream said they are here for the source. That is why they logged in today, is to hear from the source. And that's why we're here, friends. We're all here to support the source. There he is, y'all. He's waking up now. It's early in the morning there in Maui, Hawaii, in beautiful Maui, Hawaii. But we're all here for the same reason, and that is to be here to support the source. He helps small creators to grow, and we want to help him. Oh, I like that. I like that. You need to rock that one. Yes, go with that one. Oh, I love that little piggy.
we've got like 7 of these little piggies. They're awesome. But you could
Yes.
buy them. Deb always found all the most awesome things. She buy things
Oh,
online.
adorable.
They're
It's like
adorable.
3 little
You put
pigs.
them all around your apartment, wherever you want, and they're so cute and adorable, and they all have their own little personalities, and
I truly believe that Deb was doing all of these little things so that you would have all of these precious memories.
exactly, no doubt. Oh,
Exactly.
she just knew I have all this stuff, and she bought me a drum, like and she wanted me to get a keyboard, but I'm stubborn, so I'm not always easy, but like she bought this rain drum. And
Namaste.
she bought a whole kit of all these instruments and tambourine.
Come on,
Uh,
Tambourine. Come on, Church of God in Christ,
and
Tambourine
then
line.
it
If
came with
anybody was raised in the Church of God in Christ, you know about that tambourine line because the
it,
Bible says, make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Yeah.
it came with the xylophone, of course, a little kid's colorful
Yeah.
xylophone and the tambourine and a triangle. It came with the triangle, of course, and then all the different shakers, green shakers, and all these different little green froggy looking guys. And these bells. So she knew, and I stepped into it. She had seen me play piano or keyboard at like a party before. Like every time there was a keyboard or piano present, I would just get on the keyboard piano and just start playing. And so she knew, and she bought me all these different toys so that I can, step into. And then we, of course, like I created this backdrop. Like we talked a lot about the backdrop and
Looks
there's
great too.
happy place, and then Nemo. I found Nemo out in the ocean. I saved Nemo's life and brought him home to his forever home, and now he can just hang out and we sing together. It's a good time. And the ukulele is from the Goodwill. It's called a baby guitar or a child's guitar. And I don't know how to play it. There's two more of those little piggies right there, and then there's another pig that's like a stone one that was gifted to me at an event I went to. And then I've got crystals and more sunglasses. I got, always good to have all the sunglasses. These ones were really fun. They used to light up and they used to blink when you push the button. It was so cool when that happened, but I had to get another battery if I were to do that. And then
Okay.
my black sunglasses are right there. Nemo's rocking those
I
right
see
now.
Nemo's rocking the sunglasses. And Source, we've got some questions coming in, so let's do a
Cool.
couple of those.
Okay.
From Amanda Bahama, do you have any pets?
Pets. Not officially. I don't have any officially. Like my old place where I lived, we cared for the cat and the pig every day. But nature to me, I'm out there on the road driving, doing deliveries. 4 days a week I'm doing the deliveries. And I pass every type of farm animal along the road. Like people have sheep and there's deer out in the nature. There's wild pigs. There's chickens and roosters everywhere. And then everybody has their own cat or dog. So when I'm delivering, I get to just share experiences with every animal. And there's pigs out in there on people's land, and I get to hang out with the pigs. And there's little goat come out on the road every once in a while. Like a goat comes out on the road, and I'm like, do I stop and help the goat get back into their property? Or it's tricky when you're living on an island. It's beautiful nature, animals everywhere. It's cool.
Okay. And then we have another question. Thank you all for dropping those questions. If you have any questions for the Source, go ahead and drop them now and you'll get up on the screen. What is your favorite activity? This is a great question. What's your favorite activity to do when you're not on YouTube or working your jobs? And friends, in 2026, we should all have multiple streams of revenue.
Indeed. Favorite activity. Let's see. I've been enjoying I going to the church, the King's Cathedral. Like praise music, a good word. I've been enjoying that a lot. Or going there. I've been going there this past week. I went there Sunday for the regular church there. I went there on Monday for the Bible study group, and I went there Wednesday night for the another like a church session with praise music and everything. So it's bringing me there now 3 days a week. Like the first week I went there 3 times. The first week, Easter Sunday morning, Easter evening, I went to the play Miracles, which was an awesome production. And then the Bible study group on Monday. So 2 weeks in a row, 3 times each week. And then in the evenings, I listened to like these Bible and Psalms music videos. Like one is by Revo, Reavo, and it is DJ Jesus on the turntables with the two lambs sitting at the coffee table. The backdrop is a coffee shop with bookshelves and everything, the good lighting and all that. And DJ Jesus is playing Psalms music in jazz format, and sitting down with the lamb for a little cup of coffee, and they're just vibing out together and looking at each other, and just these are the types of videos I play in the evenings when it's quiet and I'm prepping a meal or something. I find, one of these types of videos where I can take in the Bible and the Psalms and the good word and the good vibrations and whatever music format I'm checking out. The rock one was really cool. Rock music, the jazz, the blues, they're all really good. So I'm just going around and checking them all out, and then I'm learning how I can create my own. So I mostly do just work and then YouTube, and then I find a little time to prep a meal, and then I maybe watch some comedy on YouTube, just to lighten it up a little. Or I'll be out and about and I'll go to something new, events. I got to get back out there and start going to events and things now that Deb's not around. I've got a little extra time, and I always wanted to do a little bit more, going to different events. So now Earth Day is coming up. I can get to an Earth Day gathering tomorrow. And then there's just always gatherings of conscious-minded beings and drum circles every week on the beach. And I've got to build that community up again too. I need to build that support system, and for all different reasons. And but yeah, just living simple and doing YouTube and building mission, passion, purpose to build the enterprise, and finding a little bit of time to do a little something different out. Like I found there's a hiking trail up in the mountains and up in the forest, up in the Makawao forest here in Maui. That at the end of my route, I drove up there, up weaving through the forest to get up to this hiking area, and I find that it's a bike park for people to ride their sport bikes and do jumps and go down trails. And so now I'm like, okay, that'll be something when if and when I get a sport bike type thing, I can go up there at the end of my delivery route and I can get one of those GoPro cameras and just do a little bit of the weaving and a little bit of the jumping, but nothing too crazy. And I still got to get down and do some water sports. I've never done surfing or kite surfing or windsurfing or any of that. So at some point I got to get down there and then check out more hiking trails, get y'all content on all of these adventures while I'm here in Maui, just in case I travel, or I've got to see Hawaii more too. I've got to then get over to the mainland USA. I got to get up to Canada, and then I got to go global and travel and meet every content creator and share all of the experiences. And so there's a lot of things, but I'm trying to make the most of this perfect home base, this support system I have in place to launch. If I can launch my coaching and community blueprint, then that'll monetize my life to that next level. And then I can have it all. That's what I'm going for first. And then if I don't make that, then I will just go to the mainland and live in a van and travel and live. My expenses I'll basically lose a little money of my savings every month, but it'll be so tiny that I could live my whole life that way, living in a van. And I can just live that way. So I kind of want to just do that, but I'm here and locked into a lease, and unless something happens with that lease, or if I get a roommate here, or there's different possibilities. We'll see. We'll see.
I see you're still planning your next steps, Source, and we're going to be prayerful with you that the Lord would order your steps as a servant while you are walking here and doing the Lord's work here on earth. And I found those questions, those rapid fire questions. So we're about to go into another round of rapid fire questions. Are you ready, Source?
Oh man, I guess so. Let's go.
Okay. Speaking in terms of Maui life, so you've got this: sunrise or sunset?
Sunset. I ain't up in the morning. Well, for that at least.
Except for coffee and conversations with KendyK all day. Do you prefer a beach day or staying home and chilling?
Stay home and chill.
Me too. Early riser or night owl?
Night owl.
Music on or silence?
Music on.
Okay. Cooking at home or eating out?
Oh man, I'd love to eat out. I always loved eating out, but I'm literally the place where I'm cutting out eating out, cutting out Netflix and all that, and I'm gonna cut out my fitness thing. I'm gonna cut everything. I'm gonna like chop off a couple $100 and then figure out ways to increase my income, in this transition period. So yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. I cut a lot of fluff out of my monthly expenses as well. And it's very freeing to do so because we've got so many subscription services. They're really easy to sign up for, but less easy to, you got to go through lots of steps. They want it in writing. You've got to do this. You've got to do this in order to cancel those things. So be mindful. They make it really easy to sign up for, but then it's kind of several hoops to jump through to cancel when you want to reclaim your money in the right way.
I'll be watching your Chat GPT tutorial on how to do that.
Well, I don't need Chat GPT because I can talk you right on through it because I did it.
You teach us the Chat GPT and how to do, because I saw you did the whole like losing your bag at the airport or what. There was something with the airport. You did a whole legal letter and everything, and yeah.
You do. Thank you, Source, because I was a founding member of the Source 479, and now am a member of the Dream Life Collective for, I believe, 8 or 9 months. You were just ahead of me as a fully monetized content creator, and Source returned the favor because he loves my content, and is also a founding member on my channel. And thank you for that commitment.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of commitments, we want to thank the moderators for this stream. Lala, the High Vibe Coach. We want to thank Gemini Diva 79 and Monique Poe. Thank you all for giving so selflessly of your time and effort today to help us to moderate this stream. We're getting ready for that channel parade, but as we do, let me share a few reminders for you. Y'all join us on Monday night as we are being hosted by Mary's Life Journey, another content creator in these YouTube streets. You all know I'm on a Zep-bound weight loss journey, and every Monday night, this is a new feature on my channel and others. But the love, we move the love around to everybody's channel because we're all small channels and we want everyone's channel to grow. So this week's Monday night GLP-1 Real Talk live stream is going to be hosted by Mary's Life Journey. So be on the lookout for this thumbnail as you go through the YouTube streets. If you would like to join us on that panel, if you've got weight loss stories to share, experiences, whether you're taking a GLP-1 for medical weight loss, or if you've been able to lose weight without taking a medication, we want to hear from you too, and we invite you to join that panel. Point your camera towards the QR code to sign up. And with that, here is that channel parade, and Source and I are going to talk it through together. And it's a mini channel parade because this Coffee and Conversations has been all about the man who himself helps small creators to grow. It's the Source 479. Thank you all for being with us today. As we heard from the Source, this has been a great interview, and I'm enjoying this time. And Source and we're going to talk about some of these channels. Here's a guy that means a lot and spends a lot of time with the Source. We call him that guy in these YouTube streets. Go ahead, please, Source, and share a little bit about that guy, Kyle.
Oh man, that guy Kyle is like the most supportive. He's always showing up. He loves coming up on the panel and hanging out, and he's very supportive. He's in the chat all the time, being awesome, and then he brings us out with his vlogs. He's going for 3,000 subscribers right now before his birthday, everybody. So support Kyle. He brings us on his cruises, takes us around town. He was showing us RVs the other day.
I saw that one. I love that one.
His daily vlog where he's waking up in the morning, having his breakfast. He's out by the pool. He's out there going to museums, aquariums and such, and just different adventures. And yeah, longtime YouTuber and having a lot of success, but he really wants that 3K, y'all. Cruising Kyle or that guy Kyle, many names, many names.
Yes, let's support that guy, Kyle Vlog. And I love that we can do a little bit of a channel parade because it's the heart of what you do on your channel as a connect and grow space. So thank you for doing what the Source 479 loves to do. He loves to help small creators to grow and connect their channels in these YouTube streets. Up next is Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey. I'll do this one. Grant is another one of those folks that you're going to find new in the YouTube streets, y'all. He just did a celebration. Oh, he's got a celebration coming up later tonight, celebrating 1,000 subscribers. He has already met the first he's already smashed through the first tier towards monetization, and he has already got the 1K required for full monetization. So at this moment, he's now just working on his watch hours. Y'all check out Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey. And when you do, let him know that KendyK sent you. Y'all will be joining Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey this evening for his 1K subscriber celebration. So I invite you, if you're not familiar with this content creator, check out Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey. He's on a weight loss journey as a type 2 diabetic. And friends, don't forget to click on the join button to join KendyK's membership. You want to become a member of KendyK's core crew, and you'll be just in time for the April prize patrol. Friends, Coffee and Conversation happens every Tuesday, Thursday, and this Sunday, we are celebrating 100 episodes of Shop Talk. So friends, join me at 3 p.m. Central Time tomorrow on Sunday for the 100th episode of Shop Talk. And Source, you were telling us that your interviews, 5 questions with the Source, I have been interviewed by you for 5 questions at I need more coffee. I've interviewed with you for 5 questions with the Source. Tell us a little bit more about that interview series, 5 questions with the Source. And you are celebrating a big milestone too with how many folks you've been able to interview for your interview series. Share a little bit about that, Source.
Yeah, so 5 questions with the Source. We've had about 55 guests, approximately 55, probably about 60 episodes. As you know, I was featured on one. There's just big celebrations. Like we did a 30+ guest celebration and a 50+ guest celebration. We had the chickens interrogating me and taking me to court. We had all sorts of, we even did 100 questions with Nemo 504. It's been awesome. But yeah, the every Saturday for around a year straight. I don't think we missed any Saturdays. So we had all these awesome content creators in our community, the who's who, everybody. Definitely KendyK all day, one of our big special guests. I always remember back to you when you first came on our live panels, and yeah, you would say this is a safe space, and everybody come up on the panel, and you can stream to your channel. Take advantage of this opportunity. This brother's Source is providing this for us all. This is for everybody. Get up here. Come on, everybody. So that was, and then you just went all in and have been doing live streams, like doing all these panel shows and bringing Shop Talk and bringing all of these different everything. I love the Mardi Gras theme. I love the membership. I love Spinwheels, Shop Talk, how you're teaching so many different things. Everything's awesome. And of course, content and all the other lives. Health is very important. So that's cool that you're doing that GLP journey as well. The 5 questions with the Source. It's basically a interview format to feature content creators. I haven't done one in a couple weeks now, so I'm a little rusty at the moment, but we always intro and connect with the audience first, and we introduce the guest and their channel. We read their bio, and talk a little bit about them and show their pictures. A lot of times our guests will send pictures over our way, so we're able to put those pictures up on the screen to help them to tell their story. in life and with YouTube. And we do a word association game as an icebreaker, a quick answer round where it's subjects that the guests are their main subjects that I've noticed, and makes it open up real nice. And then we do the 5 questions interview format where we, for a while, we ask all the questions about life, from the beginning when they grew up to college age to adult age to now, and their life journey and their jobs and their traveling and where they've lived and all their experiences, and then into like their YouTube channel and their journey on YouTube and how it's going and what their niche is and all the things about their channel and the milestones and what they're going towards, what's their dream life, like what does their best life look like. And then we go into a rapid fire round where we ask quick fun questions to get to know them better, just like you do the rapid fire. And then we wrap it up with questions from the audience, and some come up on panel with us and connect as well and do questions and comments with the guest. And then we go into our raid where we set up to bring our whole audience into someone else's live stream so that we can splash in there and bring all that source love and energy and connection and all that good stuff. So, yeah.
And that's what he does. And that's how he does it, because he wants to help small creators to grow and connect their channel. Y'all, he is joy in the YouTube streets. He is pure joy and just a genuine #kind soul that he is. Y'all, this is our mini channel parade in the spirit of the producer Deb, and just like she would have wanted us to continue to spread and to highlight small and new content creators. And so we're highlighting one of today's moderators, Gemini Diva 79. Y'all, this person, Gemini Diva 79, has read over 5,000 books. She has over 5,000 books on her Kindle, and she is a fan of urban fiction. Y'all, so check out the vibe over there, and when you do, let her know that KendyK and The Source sent you there. Thank you, The Source, for being here with us today. Y'all, this is some of my latest content. It just dropped this morning. So check out what I ate for week 7 on my Zep-bound weight loss journey. And check that out. And friends, we'll end here with the man with the plan, with the man that helps small creators to grow. It is our very own The Source. And you're absolutely right. Y'all, it's a 10 out of 10 for me with The Source 479. I highly, highly, highly recommend The Source to you. Y'all, please check them out. And let's continue to put our arms around The Source so that you can feel the love all the way in Maui, Hawaii. Source, tell us when the next time you're going live, and tell us about anything else. This is your moment, friends, and because we're coming down from this space in the next minute or two.
Yeah, so today's Saturday here in Maui. Got a relaxing day planned, so I'll probably go live later because that's what I love to do. Come hang out with all y'all and do whatever we decide to do later in the day today on our live stream. And then, of course, tomorrow our support Spinwheel, which is 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Every Sunday we'll do our Spinwheel. Well, actually I've moved it later, so I haven't locked in the new time yet, but it might just be so instead of that time 3 hours later. I have been doing that at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern lately. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, so that I can go to the church, the King's Cathedral, and then flow into taking care of myself for a minute before I go live and do Spinwheel, and then we party on out. So yeah, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's probably going to be the time that I'll lock in unless something comes up, and I'll let y'all know, of course. So that's what we're looking at Saturday, Sunday here. And thank you so much, KendyK, all day for hosting me.
You're absolutely, it's been my pleasure to do so. Thank you for gracing us for Coffee and Conversations. And friends, don't forget to join me tomorrow for that 100th episode of Shop Talk. Y'all, Thank you again to the source. And thank you. If all hearts and minds are clear, source and I would tell you to go in peace and do good things. Hashtag be kind. Goodbye for now.
Aloha.